from Australia's snowy mountain playground. This is Thredbo, and this is a special Our Town edition of Paul Murray Live.
Hello Australia, good evening to you wherever you happen to be. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'm a bogan who's very comfortable watching the supercars go around at Bathurst. I'm a bogan who spends way too much time on the Gold Coast. But I've got to say, I am now a bogan who loves to ski, ladies and gentlemen. I am one of you. I am part of the club. A snow bunny, dare I say. Welcome to another edition of Our Town, the sixth in our series, as we celebrate all of the wonderful things that make this country the special thing that it is. And I know there's an awful lot of you tonight who are joining us, perhaps for the first time, certainly maybe watching us on Sky News on Win, and lots of people who want to see one thing above everything else. You want to see if the fat man fell down while he was skiing. Well, I can tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, here in this beautiful arena, and you here at home. I came to this place just a couple of days ago. I looked at those incredible mountains and thought it would be an insurmountable challenge. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to say I've tamed this beast. I've taken it on in every way, shape and form. This mountain is mine. For those of you who are on the left who've chosen to watch us because you want to see a fat man fall down, will you be disappointed? I do not know. But I will show you this, ladies and gentlemen. Paul Murray learns to ski in Thredbo. Roll the tape. I've got the gear, got the goggles, I've got the nerves. All we're going to do is find an instructor.
Hey! Hey, Paul.
Hello, mate, Paul. Lovely to meet you.
Hey, mate. How you going?
Very good. All right.
Welcome to Thredbo.
Thank you. There's no way I'm going to be able to do that. But how do I learn to ski and not fall over, not break my leg? I've got walking down pat.
Step by step, we're going to start here on this easy area, like on the flat bit, and then in about having a go here, and soon we will be able to fly down this little slope.
All right.
It's our beginner bowl, where you get started in a confident and at your ease.
Very cool. All right.
All right.
Let's give it a crack.
So the first thing we're going to do is toes down, be sure that the heels is lined up with your binding, and give a good hit.
Hey!
Good. And now you're locked in.
All right.
Okay, what we're going to do, again, we're going to give a few push. Pause here. And we're going to keep the pose with a bit of an angle next to our feet. We give a good push to start moving. Awesome. That's really good. So the first, let's say, few times, we're going to go up walking with our ski.
I'm fat. Is there a chairlift to the top of this?
There is a carpet.
Okay, good.
There is the travelator there. So that's what we're going to use.
Sometimes you've just got to know your place. Hello.
Let's get started.
Okay.
Lift up your paws. Grip your hand. Oh, push me away. There you go. Now, open your feet a bit wider. A little bit wider. Great. And let's stand up. Yeah, push me away if you need. Very good there.
All right, let's do one more.
Let's do it.
One more.
Let's try without pause and see what's happened.
You just want me to fall down. How much are these blokes paying you to make me fall?
Can't tell you that. Yeah, mate. Awesome. Keep it wide, keep it wide, keep it wide. Point. And now as wide as you can to stop. As wide as you can. Yeah! Awesome, man. Yes, man.
Thank you, brother.
Told you could do it.
Yeah. So after a tough day taming the slopes here at Thredbo, I thought it was time to hang with people that are better than me. Bye! Say goodbye, wave goodbye to TV. Bye-bye. Onward, faster, Freddy! Faster, Freddy! Faster, Freddy! Faster, Freddy! I tamed this beast. I am a skier now. So, I'll be honest with you, as you saw, I had this steely determination. I was not going to, well, I was trying not to fall over the whole time. So we've done it, we're finished. There was that little bit of ski downhill, it was fine. Yes, you know, gravity does work. Fatter you are, the faster you move. And of course, we're finished, right? So it's all done. And that's when it was time to fall down. Yes, the cameras were rolling, and for those of you who desperately need to see me fail, enjoy. All right, so by now you'll have noticed that I didn't fall over. That's true, except for this one time.
And let yourself go up the... Go down.
That really hurts.
There's no starfish.
Ow. Perhaps not the stack that you wanted to see, but I'll be feeling it tomorrow, no question about it. I'm pleased to say one of the people who is going to be entertaining you here tonight is one of the great musicians of Australia. Give it up for none other than the great Guy Sebastian. Great man, how are you? How are you, man?
Very good.
So good to see you.
Yeah.
The last time I saw you were on the back of Larry's boat, weren't we?
We were. We were doing scotch and cigars. It was very city, wasn't it?
It was very
urban.
A little bit different now.
Yeah, we're out in the country now.
I love it. Now,
there's no yachts.
There's no yachts.
For, you know, morning television host.
I know, Larry.
Fancy cigars and
so much. So much.
A lot of coin, that guy.
Oh, doesn't he just? And the property the man owns.
Mate, he's killing it. Bondi, he's in the city.
And every time you see Larry Emder on Instagram, he's always not working.
Yeah.
That is always an interesting...
But you know what's funny? He's the biggest tight ass you've ever met.
Yes, I know, because I had to pay for the cigars that he gave you.
Yes, yeah, totally.
All right. Now, thank you very much for coming, mate. Are you a snow bunny at all? Is this your scene?
I love the snow. I've only really been skiing properly once, and it was I was sort of in the middle of two loves of mine. I was doing a lot of photography at the time, and then I was singing, obviously, and I was at Sundance, which is in Utah, Park City, which is a pretty awesome place to start skiing because obviously, you know, they had the Olympics there, and it was pretty incredible. I did stack it and get concussion though.
Okay.
It was much worse than your stack. That was the slowest stack I've ever seen.
Are you wearing that helmet for a reason now?
Yes, that's
is it
right.
The concussion that means you're wearing the helmet tonight?
Yes.
Is there, but of course, you know, the thing when you're learning to do it, you've never done it before, and you feel a bit 40-year-old virgin to be like an adult and learning when you've got all these kids sort of around you that are doing it. To do it in a place like Utah, where you just imagine everyone's awesome. I felt the same thing here, where I was just like, everyone knows what they're doing. I feel like such a tool. But it's a bit like ice skating, in that like everyone's fallen over at the start.
Exactly. I mean, skiing's one of those things where apparently kids are amazing at it straight away. They're really good, which makes it worse as adults when we really suck. Because I sucked. I actually found myself... I was on the green slopes and I found myself on a double blue, which it was literally my first time, and this was my second run, and I was heading down the double blue, and I ended up just getting all this momentum, and then the speed wobbles happened, and I went arse up and smashed my...
Well, it's this thing, okay, yeah, sure, kids are good when they're learning this, but I tell you what, I saw 3 children who said to their ski instructor today, while they were skiing better than me, can I go to the toilet now? No, I can hold it in. That makes me better than those children.
Exactly.
Is it like, we're better, we can hold it in.
Suck it.
Does that count as an achievement? I don't know.
I think it does.
Let's
controls over your belts, I think. I mean, you and I we've only got, what, another 30 years while we still have...
While we still have that. So let's savour it as much as we can at Alpine or anywhere else.
That's right.
Well, this chat's gone odd.
How are your movements?
Oh, the follow-ups, I won't go there. Let's talk about music and where we are right now. After coming out of The Voice, what was that experience like to be on the opposite side of deciding who went from obscurity to potential career?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's awesome. I mean, it's such an exciting prospect because, you know, the difference for me is I came through a show like The Voice, so I was completely unknown in Adelaide, you know, playing indoor cricket, and I was at uni and just sort of living a normal life, and then almost overnight there was people camping outside of my house with Go the Fro signs, and my life changed so dramatically, and whenever I am in that seat and there's the blind auditions and I'm thinking about hitting that button, I really do think about the fact that audition, the same way it did for me, it could really change someone's life. Yeah. Or they can just go back to doing whatever they were doing and nothing will happen with them.
But also, is it a weird thing where, you know, again, let's not bore everyone with too much how the sausage is made, but I'd imagine that you've only got X number of times you can hit that button.
Yeah.
So Are you the type of person who at the start of that process, I imagine it goes for a couple of weeks, are you a little too generous at the start and you go, shit, I've only got 3 left, and then you're really mean in the middle? Or how did you manage when to give that opportunity?
I went in with a pretty simple sort of plan. I just thought, if it moves me, I'm hitting my button. You know, at the end of the day, if they're great, they'll end up on someone's team. If I'm being honest, I don't get too caught up in the competition side of stuff. I just want to do the best.
That's a Delta.
Delta's competitive. George is very competitive.
Yes.
And also, Kelly and George are probably the most competitive. Delta's kind of, she's cool. But Delta and George were very at each other this year. I'm new, so I wasn't
you
used
just with
to
the
that
new kid sitting
camaraderie.
going, how does this work?
It was awkward. I didn't know whether to sort of be a peacemaker or you know, stir the pot a little bit.
On the behalf of the producers, stir the pot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're there for. That's what they love having you there for as well. Now, let's talk about Choir, the song that we will see a bit later tonight. Intensely personal song. Tell us the story behind it, and then we'll get to the process of what we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, look, I've sort of talked about what it means to me personally quite a lot. You know, there was a band member who was close to all of us who were going to be on stage today, and he, you know, lost his life and his battle with mental illness, and it was very hard for all of us to kind of figure out why and all of those questions that you ask, and you know, and it's also something that I've sort of got a history with my own family and my wife, and so it just opened up, I think, a lot of old wounds, but also, of course, a huge new one, which was, for me, I knew I wanted to somehow process it, and obviously as a songwriter and as a musician, I do that a lot through song. I firstly started writing this ballad and I just couldn't get through it. I was a mess. And so I thought, if I'm ever going to pay tribute to my friend, it has to be in a sort of fun, celebratory, you know, way where we celebrate his life. He was such an incredible person. But I've never, ever had as much, you know, response to a song. The amount of messages that I get daily about people who are struggling with mental illness, who have lost people, battling with grief, it's just mind-blowing. As a songwriter, it's the most fulfilling thing because you're seeing firsthand the effect that music has on people.
Well, and also, as this song becomes bigger and bigger part of the set, it means it's going to travel with you as a bandmate would. And that must be a kind of cool moment, that where it be the biggest of stages you'll perform or the smallest, where you play that song, they're going to be there for that 3 minutes.
Exactly, which is good and tough because, like, I've only performed it a handful of times. You know, I did. The first one was at a Brisbane races, so everyone's having a punt and they're all on the piss, and they don't want to see some weird performer crying, right? I was there, and the organisers were like, just get them dancing, you know. And so I was starting, and then I thought, well, I've got to sing this song at some stage. We sung it, and the whole band and I were just in tears, and it was weird. And then I sung it at the Logies. The minute I started the verse, I just started to choke up, and then I got through it at the State of Origin and on The Voice, so I'm hoping today will be good as well.
All right, well, we consider ourselves bigger than all of those events, obviously.
Of course, yes.
So, dare I say, this is the one that matters, but OK, that's cool. You know, Logies. Also, you're about to be out on the road in the next couple of months. What do you like about the grind of touring, and is there a slightly different Guy Sebastian that lives out of a suitcase than the one who gets to hang out at home? You
know what? I'm normally very liberal with what I eat, and I don't mind a drink, and when I'm on tour, I'm really disciplined. I never drink before a gig, and I watch what I eat, and I go to bed, and I'm very boring on tour.
Well, you came to the right location, Thredbo, to follow all of those.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a town of discipline.
This isn't late for Thredbo.
This is very disciplined.
No, I'm heading out on the road. My favourite thing to do is to tour. You know, you sort of... I actually ring Jules quite often when I'm on tour and apologise because it's like a holiday. Once I've done about 4 or 5 shows, I'm in the flow. And so I'll play golf a lot on tour, and then I'll just lob up, you know, a little bit before stage time and perform. And I love doing it so much that it's over like that. So it's not as tough as what Jules has with a 7 and a 5-year-old at home.
It's nice to leave it. Sorry, Dale, I've got to go. I'm sorry. I've got to go to Thredbo for 2 days to make television. Sorry, love. Enjoy the 18-month-old. Guy, thank you so much, man.
Pleasure.
You're an absolute champion. We'll see you on the stage. Guy Sebastian, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks to Guy Sebastian and the great people of Sony Music. A big shout out to Dennis Hanlon, who was a huge believer in yourself as us as well. Now, a million things to do here, apart from just learn how to ski. There are plenty of those that are way better at it than I. Samantha Chiari is one of them. Have a look at what she did when she was here not that long ago.
The breathtaking beauty of the snowy mountains, where you really do feel as though you're on top of the world. Even though Thredbo is now an iconic Australian resort, it was an Austrian who first saw its potential. In 1955, Tony Sponner had a vision to transform these mountains into ski runs and the village into a buzzing holiday destination. Now it's a skier's dream, attracting 700,000 visitors each year, some of them coming back time and time again.
Bus trips in the late 70s where you had skis, you know, this big and leather boots, and so we used to go up the top and do the learners up the top before Friday flat.
It's no surprise that thousands of people from all over the world visit Thredbo each year. We're here on the top of Whyalla Hut, one of the key attractions of this resort. Now it is the rooftop of Australia with this incredible view, one of the many reasons why this resort has been booming for more than 60 years. Nearly 500 people live and work on the mountain, living and breathing resort life. Marley, Aki and Joey have lived in Thredbo their whole lives and struggle to imagine life away from the mountain.
In Thredbo, it was such a tight community, quite small, so all of the kids who have grown up here, we all know each other really well, like siblings, and we all love each other and we ski together and we always support each other. So it's a really nice community just to be able to grow up in and with all that support.
I've lived in Thredbo for 13 years. I've loved it so much, getting to ski from a young age and started to mountain bike as well. I want to travel the world, but I think as I get old, I'll probably come back to Thredbo.
Living in the resort isn't just paradise for the kids, the parents love it as well. Natasha Murray has been living in Thredbo for nearly 30 years. She's raising her 2 young children on the mountain and loves that every day is different.
Wow, living in the Snowy Mountains is amazing. Every day is about adventure, and I think if you asked me to describe 2 words that would really sum up what I love about living in Thredbo, the elements and the adventure.
Thredbo has one of the best ski and snowboard schools in Australia, and Natasha runs it. She promises to look after any age and every level.
About 50,000 kids through a season, from 3 years to 17 years. You can have a 3-year-old that's a first-timer, but you might also have a 17-year-old that's a first-timer as well. We've got 6-year-olds, 5-year-olds even, that kind of rip around the whole mountain, skiing black runs, skiing the powder, skiing the bluff up behind me there. What we offer is not necessarily age-specific, it's level-specific.
While children on holiday love this place, it's extra special for the local kids.
The kids really conform and they love the environment that we live in, and I think, you know, they jump on the school bus in the mornings and head down to Jindabyne, but when they're in Thredbo, they love being around in this environment as well.
Thredbo also offers a wide range of events. The weekly flare runs are a highlight. This is a Thredbo favourite for over 20 years. It's a Thursday night tradition, the Kids Flare Run. Now, it's when the mountain comes to light, a truly amazing spectacle enjoyed by the young and the old.
We've just had a wonderful time.
God love you, Samantha Chiari, who I think we can all agree looks way better in winter gear than I do. All right, let's introduce you on television to a man who this community would know very, very well. Randy Weeman is a man who has been, born in the United States and been here for the best part of 40 years. Give it up for Randy. Hello, great man. How are you?
Very good, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you for coming along. What's this place been like for 40 years? Has it changed much over those 40 years, and how has it changed?
A lot of things have changed, but the attitude of people and the way we love this place doesn't change.
So what's it like here? Obviously, this place has done a great job of recent years being able to make the most out of summer activities as well. I know obviously skiing and winter activities in part was what brought you here, but what's it like to live here when it's a whole lot warmer and a whole lot different way of coming down the mountain on, say, a bike?
Well, it's funny, it used to be very relaxing here in summer, but now it's so busy. Lots of people are coming here, so in quiet times now, there's a lot of people around. So we have to wait longer to get up the lift, things like that, and the restaurants are busier and all that, so we're used to that in winter, but now it's happening in summer as well.
So the vibe in this place that is so obvious, and even if you're only here for a couple of days, is that what I love about any genuinely great location in Australia is that rather than living at the pace of where you're from, you very quickly turn to the pace of where you are. And Thredbo's got a very particular chilled vibe about it, and it's such a great feeling that people seem to get right into that mood very, very quickly. As after spending 40 years here and plenty of time here, when either you go back to the States or you go into Sydney or Melbourne, is it reversed? Can you speed up to go into those places, or you all think all those idiots are going too fast?
No, I prefer it in Thredbo. And all the people that keep coming here year in, year out, I think they like to come down here because of the people that live here. And they come and mix with the people, the locals and all that, and they feel really at home. If somebody goes out to the bar, they know the waitresses, and the waitresses know them, and things like that.
Now, you were Australia's first champion freestyle skier.
Yep.
When did you discover that this wasn't just something you loved doing, but you were that damn good at it?
Well, that took a while. I was over in Europe at the time, and just things fell into place. And when I came out to Australia, this sport hadn't happened in Australia before. So I was kind of like the first one that was here in the first events. I managed to win those, and I've kept going ever since.
Now, I had phenomenal thanks. Look at this footage of you. Can you believe that's you? Look at that hair.
Nothing's changed.
Nothing at all. What's now in freestyle skiing? How did you work out how to throw those extra little tricks and things?
Well,
in? How much of that is trial and error, and how much?
Well, back in those days, it was all trial and error.
Yeah.
We just go out there and just did it. Now we have lots of Australians that are doing well in the sport, some Olympians as well, and they have lots of coaches, and they have water jumps, and they have training and gymnastics. And look, you saw Joey Ellis here earlier. He's down at the sports and rec camp here in the leisure center on the trampolines, doing all these flips and all these maneuvers before they do it out on snow.
Wow.
But I had to do it all on snow first.
So give me the list of injuries.
None.
No. Yeah. I got more hurt doing that than you did. Rubbish.
Very lucky.
Seriously, no shoulders, nothing. Jeez, I hate to tell you what the last 10 years of your life's going to be like. Something's going to catch up with you.
So far, so good.
Yeah, good, man, fantastic. I love it too. Now, you also have been able to take your passion for the outdoors, the passion for the sport, turn it into photography as well. How do you like to, or how does your experience on the slopes help inform how you can shoot them?
Well, I wanted to continue my lifestyle that I had as a skier, traveling around the world and being able to do what I wanted. And so photography was that option. And 30 years ago, I got a lease to set up an on-mountain photo business, which existed in every resort around the world. And I've been going strong for 30 years with that and still doing it.
Fantastic. For, say, first-time skiers, because also you were a ski instructor for a long period of time, what's that feeling like to see a little kid turn up and catch it, and you know that you've given them the bug for the rest of their life?
Well, it's even better with older people.
Well, we'll see how we go tomorrow morning, whether it's a lifetime thing for me.
No, but it's absolutely... To be a ski instructor is a wonderful thing. You have to be a psychologist. You have to figure out how to get people to do things that they might not want to do. Watching your lesson today, the instructor was in front of you. A good instructor should take somebody through the ski lesson without falling down. Yeah. And progressing up the hill. So... Well,
he was amazing, like the way they build confidence, because there's that start of you where they're going, you're doing great, you're doing great. Yeah. But then slowly they start to go, they build this confidence in you, and it was awesome.
Well, it's amazing, Paul. You can change people's lives. People come in here, they're very nervous about things, or they have problems, and they get up on the mountain, they're learning how to ski, they think about nothing else but that, and then all of a sudden the other worries fade away.
Very cool, very cool. All right, will you be in Thredbo forever?
Yep.
Very cool.
Yep.
All right. That's a very definite answer, and the answer is yes. Thank you so much, Randy. Lovely to meet you, mate. All the best. Give it up. Good on you, Randy Weeman. One of the many other people that we want to introduce you to are some of the great people here. Tomasi is a bloke who turned 93 this week, and he's one of the absolute legends of Thredbo. We had a chance to sit down and talk about his life, and it is one hell of a life. If you thought Randy's was good, I don't know if the archival footage will be as good from the 93-year-old, but let's have a look.
Since 1952, I started up Charlotte Pass
as a ski instructor there. And that's where I met my wife there. She was a bookkeeper. Of course, as a fresh migrant, sick and tired to travel with suitcase, I said, I want to get married. So I married her straight away. Oh, 12 months after, anyway. But, so I've been here ever since. Then, of course, once you get married, it's not good to stay up there. You know, it's too many girls around and you're going to have problems. So I decided to join the Snowy. And I had a house up in the camp. And I worked for 9 years with it. But meanwhile, while I was working with the Snowy, in 1956, that's when the rumours started around Tony Sponner starting Thredbo. And I always say to Tony up at the chalet, if you start that, I'm going to start the ski patrol. So officially, I started personally on 1957. But 58, that's when we got the first chairlift, the Krakenback, and that's where the season started. And I started off with only 8 guys, they're all working for the Snowy, all good skier. And ever since we've been growing and growing and growing, and it become nationwide. And so I'm still here, but I've been skiing all the time, which was great. The company, of course, after 30 years, they gave me a life pass, which has been appreciated. There's, of course, standing team, so I could do as much skiing as I can. And so that's how I spend a lot of time at Thredbo. Gentleman is home, and I'll be honest with you, I quite like it. You got a lot to do. A lot of people don't realize how much you can do in this area. I mean, Thredbo's got every facility you want. I think it's been a great move to start the patrol. I think you did need it, because quite often we got a lot of accidents. Sometimes 20, 15, 17 a day. Some major, some just bruises, scratches, cuts. Come, the snowboarder, come. That's easy. Grab him by the tongue. Put her back. But anyhow, that's about it.
Tomasi is his name. Full of stories. He loves this place, and I love that he's a man who's willing to admit he was a mad river in his youth. God love it. Plenty more from Thredbo in a second. On stage, don't go anywhere. You're in Thredbo tonight.
Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. Need advice? We're here to help.
Let's meet yet another legend of these parts, another bloke who is, well, a man who is so famous around these parts that his portrait hangs on one of the most famous walls here. Have a look.
Well, it seems that most of my life, although I was city-born back in Czechoslovakia, I skied. Coming to Australia, we knew that there was snow here, and that was partially one reason why we settled like the whole family. I started coming to Thredbo and had a close connection since 1959 when Sasha's Lodge, that was my sister's lodge. It's called now Black Bear, and they opened in 1959. Now, permanently, I moved to Thredbo in 1974. An opportunity arose for me here to open a shop, and I gradually started selling souvenirs. Thredbo in those days, it was still a very small village, compared with today. Of course, it was small, it was cohesive, and it was like all the Australian resorts. It was hanging together. People were all, well, one knowing each other. And today I enjoy Thredbo and all it brings, and the life, the spirit of Thredbo, which is still there. All the people, all the residents know each other, and also, of course, visitors, and they come, and there is this togetherness which is very much in favor of Thredbo. I like to live here, and it's couldn't wish for anything better.
How beautiful is that? Frank is 98 years old, or 98 years young, I should say, in these parts of Australia's oldest living Olympian. Now, let's introduce you to another Olympian who calls this place home. Please give it up for Jess Cody, who's a snowboarder. How are you doing? Hello.
Good, thanks. How are you doing?
He's 98, you're 18, all right? Let's talk about the life that's in front of you here. When did you start snowboarding? Was snowboarding what you started with, or skiing and then you went, bugger that, I'm going to get into a board?
No, I was straight to the dark side. I started snowboarding when I was 9 years old, and yeah, never looked back, never stepped on skis, and it's probably going to stay that way.
That's cool. Were you always somebody who was competitive or creative about it? How did you take the sport at the start?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of both for me. Like, I used to do a bit of racing and stuff, just sort of school competitions. I always liked getting in the park and just sort of showing off my creative side, that sort of way. And yeah, that just sort of funneled more into competitive slopestyle snowboarding for me.
Now, unlike, say, a swimmer who talks about the grand boredom of having to train going up and down a pool, I'd imagine training in your sport is a little bit more fun.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. Sometimes I don't even think of it as training. It's just like snowboarding. You just get to go out and ride the mountain, and yeah, like you said, unfortunately for swimmers, they've just got that black line, but if you get bored riding the park, you can go ride the pipe or go do some turns. There's always different options on the hill, which is pretty sick.
We're just having a look at some of the things you're doing, including riding down that massive rail. Do you have any element of fear when you're doing this now?
Yeah, I think definitely there's an element of fear. Like, sometimes it's like you're barely there if you're doing stuff you've done so many times, but trying new stuff is always pretty nerve-wracking, I find, for me especially. But I think that's the fun part about it. Like, you get to sort of push it like that, and then when you do get something good, it's awesome, yeah.
And then when you started to realise that you could do it competitively, and you started to be amazing at it with titles all over the shop, and then eventually getting to represent Australia at the Olympics. What's that experience like, to realise that you're not just good at it, you're freaking good at it?
Yeah, it was pretty epic. Like, I don't know.
I almost said it.
Yeah, it happened really quick for me. I was just sort of doing just a pretty mellow competition season, and yeah, it went really well. So that was definitely a real turning point when it became sort of the next step up towards like going to the Olympics. But yeah, it was a pretty epic experience, that's for sure.
So what's it like living around here as, let's talk about that little 9-year-old to today. What's it like to live here?
Yeah, it's super awesome. I guess, people would say I'm living the dream. But yeah, it's a really good place to be at. Thredbo's just got a sick village, and it's just such a good vibe. You can just come off the snow, get some drinks and stuff, and it's just...
Well, you get a gold medal for lingo, I'll give you that.
I know, I love lingo.
You've got it all. It's a sick village, great, I'm learning. Do I not feel like an old daggy bloke right now? And it's not just the jumper that I'm wearing. Tell us about the future, and do you want to be able to always base yourself here, or is the nature of winter sports and trying to make an even bigger career out of it means you're going to have to go north at some point?
Yeah, I do go north every Northern Hemisphere season, I guess, because that's just what you got to do, like chase the snow, which is super sick. Like, you always going to new places.
You are awesome.
I know,
I love
I'm full of jargon, it's kind of...
I love it, it's awesome. It's fantastic. Do you text like this? It's super sick.
I do.
Oh, yes. Yes. Have you done your HSC yet?
Yeah, I finished last year.
Did you say super sick in an essay halfway through it?
I probably did.
Yeah, probably. And on today's education standards, you would have gotten an A. Yeah. No worry about it. As long as you were able to spell it with an A, then you'd get a double A plus. All right, just finally, for those that are watching us at home, and I wanted people to come and experience this place, but people who might be thinking about something to do with the family and all the rest of it here, why should they come and hang out in Thredbo this winter? There's still plenty of snow around, there will be till October.
Yeah, I couldn't recommend it more. I guess that's what I did the first time, and yeah, I'm sitting here in front of you, so you never know. Like, it's just such an epic experience coming up to the snow, and it's so fun to hang out with your family, and it's, yeah, it's a great holiday.
Well, I promise if this is a highlight, it gets better from here. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it. Super sick, best way to put it. Give it up for Tessa, everybody. Or Tess Cody, rather, my apologies. Quick break in a second. One of the things that we love doing with our Our Town project is that we love being able to raise money for the CWA. The Country Women's Association is a powerhouse of an organisation. Do not take on these ladies because they will steamroll over the top of you. And we have been very pleased to say that they, thanks to our good mates at Harvey Norman, are going to be the recipients of a very significant donation. You will see it as they learn the number live straight after this. Don't go anywhere. We're doing our bit right around the country, and we're doing it from Thredbo tonight.
This program brought to you by NAB, Australia's biggest business bank.
NAB, more than money.
How are we feeling, Thredbo? Having a good night? Good to see. You're very well trained. I like it. It's a very good audience. Our next Our Town, we will reveal that one for you a little later. Also, I cannot wait to help out the lovely ladies of the CWA. But first, one of the many, many businesses here that may not automatically come to mind, but I guarantee you're going to want to remember after some time. This is the Wild Brumby. Wild Brumby. My apologies, sorry. I'm ahead of myself. I get excited because we're about to get somebody drinking free booze on the air. Tom Evans, good evening. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
All right, let's get this nice and proper and let's plug a product lovely here as I hold this. What am I holding in my hot little hand here, and how long have you guys been in business?
So we've got some Devil's Tongue schnapps here. So this is a chili liqueur schnapps. Right. We've been in business for about 15 years now. And, yeah, down at Crackenback, so not far from here.
When did Wild Brumby... Damn it, it's going to happen all night.
Right, mate, you've got to get it right.
All right, yeah. I haven't tasted any of it, I promise anyone.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, let's get a glass out here.
We will in a second. Can we get some glasses out here? Let's do that. How long have you been associated with the business?
Well, this is my uncle and auntie's business, so I've been associated since it started.
Yep.
Recently, I've become full-time. So it's a very exciting time for us.
So what's involved in your business and being able to do this here? Is there anything that you're able to use either in terms of, you know, local waters, something like that? How are you able to keep this business here?
We do use some local water, and we also use some local botanicals and stuff in our gin making. So, yeah, we try and keep it as local as we can. Everything we use is within sort of 200 kilometres of the area. Obviously, we can't source everything, you know, as close as we would like.
And how big is Wild Brumby now? Damn it!
Seriously, you've got to get that...
Once it's gone in wrong once, I am stuffed.
Yeah.
Absolutely stuffed. Wild Brumby.
There you go. Hey!
Wow. Wild Brumby. Excellent. OK, so tell me this, now that I've actually pronounced the business correctly. Oh, I'm about as red as my jumper is right now.
Yeah, right. You just need one of these. Right?
How far has this thing gone? How successful are you?
Oh, we're doing all right, yeah. No, it's...
Why are they saying, yeah?
Well...
Do they see you driving around in a Rolls or something?
No Rolls. No, it's doing well.
Keep it Australian, or you can send this stuff around the world?
We're keeping it Australian at the moment, but yeah, I mean, there's every, you know, possibility to send it around the world. Why not?
Very cool. Who wants to try some? All right, just one second.
Come on up.
I want one Sheila, one bloke. All right, follow me here. One Sheila, one bloke. All right, you're up. First up. No, you're up. Come up here. In the front row. No, you got to sit there. No, you stay there. It's your missus. Come on. Come on. All right. Can you say the name of this business?
Wild Brumby.
Excellent. Can you say the name of this business?
Wild Horse.
Oh, can you say the name of this business? Now I don't have to. All right, now. All right, what are we going to serve up and what are we going to taste up here?
Okay, so this one here is the
come on in, guys.
the peach nectar. Okay.
Yum.
So this one is actually quite nicely accompanied with a dry champagne to make a Bellini.
Oh, lovely.
Champagne with this
No, look,
no,
want more free booze. Bloody hell.
Free, you said free.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, what's your name? Brendan, what's your name?
Helena.
Hello. All right, get into it.
There you go, guys.
What will they be
Enjoy.
noticing? What are the tastes? What are the things they're going to be noticing?
Well, it's peach nectar, so...
Excellent. Geez, you've done that before. All right, what did we feel? What did we like?
Oh, delicious. Sweet and juicy.
Oh, lovely.
Perfect.
Don't say that.
Sweet, juicy and free.
That is free.
I like
All right,
it. All
what's
right.
the next one we're going to have a crack at?
So this one here...
Brad's going to have the conniption that we just drank free schnapps from the Wild Horse.
Don't say Wild Horse, I'll get in trouble. Keep going.
So this one here is the devil's tongue. So this one's got a little bit of chili in it.
Ooh,
so it starts off as
I like it.
a pink lady apple, and then we infuse the chili into it. So enjoy. Goes well with an oyster as well.
This one's good, mate.
All right. You hold it in the mountains, this shot.
Oh, you hold it? Okay.
Yeah, you got to hold it this way.
Hold your top and bottom.
Eyes.
Einmal for the suck, Prost.
Excellent. All right, is it still free? But how did that taste?
Ooh, it's a bit spicy on the back there.
All right.
That's the
If you're
idea.
a chili freak, you go for it. Otherwise, you go back to the apple.
All right, lovely. All right, so we're going to recommend this to everyone. All right, now I don't drink, right? Okay, so if I have to have one, what am I going to have?
Ooh, spicy and chili because it's different and you can tell your friends about it.
Okay, cool. Well, this segment couldn't end any better than it started.
No. You're the only person I've seen live that doesn't use an auto cue. Go nice and sweet and go the apple. Look after yourself.
All right, okay. I'll go soft and go apple. Is that all right? Okay, let's go. I want some apple one.
It's only two.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. All right. And you can have another one because he's got too many free ones.
Go on.
All right, so how do I hold it
Don't
again?
be shy.
Oh, you've got to
Hey, you can hold it any way you like, but
Like
that's
that?
the best way. That's the best way.
All right, hang on. Give him one.
I got mine.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, enjoy that, Media Watch. Thank you very much. Good on you. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Wild Brumby! Wild Brumby! Wild Brumby! Thank you, mate.
Yes.
We always try to do our bit for the CWA. Charlotte Mortlock has what exactly we are raising money for here tonight.
For the skies are blue above and the grass is green below, in the old Monero country at the melting of the snow. It's no wonder Banjo Patterson was in awe of the Monero region. But right now, there's little grass at all. 97.4% of New South Wales remains in drought. The Monero has collected only 60 to 80% of its typical rainfall in the last 18 months, leaving some of the quaint country villages desperately dry.
They are struggling, especially over the last couple of years. We haven't had a lot of rain, probably about 14 inches in that 2 years.
For the 6 Our Town show, Paul travelled to Thredbo, stopping in at Fishwick Harvey Norman along the way, where a silent auction was held to raise funds for the Country Women's Association.
We're sort of on our way to Thredbo, and the snowy region in particular is one that, as you know and everyone listening now, has been somewhat whacked by drought. And these lovely ladies, the CWA ladies, yes, they do a great scone, but they also take care of so many wonderful people.
State Executive and Representative for the Monero area, Kay Anderson, has been with the CWA for 54 years and knows better than anyone how much of an impact the organisation has on rural communities.
They have started to feed stock at least a couple of months earlier than they usually do. They are also destocking, trying to keep their breeding stock still on the farm. They're sending stock across to Wagga for market, and CWA out there are doing a wonderful, wonderful job of supporting those families.
CWA is an unsung hero of this drought, which in some areas is now officially the worst on record. Thanks to them and Harvey Norman, all the money raised today will go back into the Monero region, providing support for those doing it tough.
Thank you very much to the delightful Charlotte Mortlock for having all the detail across that. We love the CWA, and Stephanie Stanhope is the CWA president here in New South Wales. Give it up for the Country Women's Association. We love them. We love them so much. First up and straight up, thank you very much for everything you and the organisation does. What's specific to this particular area, say the Snowy and slightly further out, that people need your help?
Basically, with the drought we've got at the moment, it is so widespread that farmers are really having it tough, and the CWA, we are giving out money to farming families to help them with household expenses, fees, rates.
Because it's this thing where our experience with this, be it from Toowoomba, where they're trying to raise money for footy boots so kids can be able to go to keep being involved in sport. Launceston, making sure that they can have money so people can travel off properties to be able to stay part of a community. How much of that exists here about financial difficulties that end up leading to a personal isolation that means people are not interacting with the bigger cities and the smaller towns around here that they would have when they've got a bit more cash?
That happens everywhere. Probably I'm a bit further down the coast at Bega. We're not quite as bad as you are here because it's mainly dairying, but you still get an income. But we are finding it that the money just isn't there. The people, they are isolated. They withdraw into themselves. They don't go out and mix. I guess depression sets in. It's just a vicious circle. And if we can help in any little way, we are trying to.
So say something like $1,000. What does $1,000 do in your work and the work of the CWA? Give us an idea about if you had $1,000 and you've got either a family or a case, what can you spend that on? What can you give that to people?
With the CWA, we give it for household costs. You can go and buy groceries, you can pay your school fees, you can buy clothing. We don't do it for fodder or farming costs because you can get those through other agencies. So we are just focusing on the household.
So right across New South Wales, would you be getting hundreds of requests a month? Is it that big? Is it bigger?
It is. It's massive. Since July last year, we have given out $12 million to over 7,000 families.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing.
It is, yes.
So what does it feel like for you as a person who joined the CWA? What does it feel like to be able to work hard to raise that money, but then also to be able to connect those people to that helping hand?
It's great. It's what we're out there for. We're out there to just hopefully improve the lives in regional and rural Australia.
Well, I'm pleased to say that one of the best things about us doing our town is, apart from the chance to live and taste for a moment these places that you all live in, I love the idea that we're able to make sure that it's not just us turning up, waving at a camera, having some fun, mispronouncing alcohol company names. They're not a sponsor, thankfully. But anyway, Wild Brumby. Yes, now he gets it right. In the freaking CWA segment, I get it right. But anyway, there we go. Is that we want to make sure that there is a bit of a tail, a bit of goodwill that can come after Sky News has been here. And thanks to the very good people of Harvey Norman, as you know, they are so connected to the CWA. They love it with everything they've got, and particularly the Fishwick store in the ACT. They have been running a silent auction there, and their customers, of course, make bids, purchase, all the rest of it here. And I'm very pleased to say that they raised, in the Fishwick store, $40,000.
That is fantastic. Thank you.
How good's that?
That's amazing.
40 grand.
It is.
So $40,000 is something to be very proud of. And thank you to the Harvey... Where are the Harvey Norman people? Give me some waves.
Thank you.
Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. Well done to Max and the team. Sensational job. So, Stephanie, $40,000, that means, particularly people in this region and even wider, they will get that little extra helping hand.
They will get that little extra, yes.
It's very good. We're very proud of it, so congratulations.
Thank you.
No, pleasure. And by the way, I want you to be just like the CWA president in Tamworth, who, as soon as the segment finished, said, when do we get the cash?
I'm assuming you'll send it to Sydney.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a giant novelty check here. It's on its way. By the way, I want to give a huge shout-out to all of the half a dozen locations that we've been to, Harvey Norman and the CWA. This project, this show, this channel, and the very good people that watch it and support it have raised $220,000 this year alone for the CWA. So $40,000 gets added to that total. Congratulations again. Thank you so much. We have plenty more to do here in Thredbo. Plenty more good stories to tell, and Guy Sebastian up on the stage in a second. Once again, if you hear we are coming to town with our town, you can do your bit. Not just be in the room and have some fun, and everyone here's going to get a beer cooler. Are we excited about getting free beer coolers? We'll get those a little bit later. They got our show name on it, so I won't mispronounce it, I promise. And we're going to get Guy Sebastian back up on the stage in a second. So we're having fun in Thredbo tonight. We're going all right? I think we are. Quick break, back with more. Guy Sebastian back on the stage next. And I want to show you when I spent the night grooming the snow.
Australia Post, helping local communities every day.
Please keep your applause going, ladies and gentlemen, for the one, the only. Thanks to Sony Music. Guy Sebastian. Here we go, brother. The song is called Choir. Enjoy.
I know it's weird to say this, but I've been thinking about it lately. Reminiscing about us in Vegas, drinking like we're famous. Man, those days were crazy, but your book ran out of pages, and now I wish I never waited to tell you. Out of all the moments in my life, the ones I got to share with you were probably my favorite. I know you're looking down on us, I'm missing you, bro. I hope you're proud of us. At least I know you made it home, and I know you're not alone. 'Cause now you're singing with a choir, now you're dancing with a crew. Up all our days with working and grinding just to make ends meet. Too busy to call, we'll catch up next week, and then it gets the next week, and we say maybe next week. And before you know, we are feeling old, asking ourselves, where did my friends go? So don't wait till they go home, 'cause now you're singing with a choir, now you're dancing with a crew. You ain't doing this so we all riding with you. Put out your fire, nobody feeling your shoes. 'Cause now you're singing with a choir, we all riding with you. Yeah. Someday I know, my friend, I'm gonna see you again. When I do, you better have a part for me. You sing the melody and I'll take the harmony. 'Cause we ain't done making music yet. We got some more sound checks, and this time we're gonna have about 1 million voices singing, dancing, party in your mansion. 'Cause now you're singing with a choir, now you're dancing with a crew. You ain't doing this solo, we all riding with you. No one can put out your fire, nobody feeling your shoes. Now you're singing with a choir, we all riding with you. Yeah, we all riding with you. We all riding with you. We all riding with you, with you. Yeah. Now you're singing with the, now you're singing with the crew. A choir. Now you're singing with the, now you're singing with the crew. Choir. Now you're singing with the, now you're singing with the crew. Choir. Now you're singing.
How did that feel? Better than the races? Was that slightly better than doing it at the races? All right, good. That's
Way better.
Guy Sebastian, everybody, give it up for him and a wonderful crew. That song is available right now through our mates at Sony Music. You get it through guysebastian.com. They'll also be travelling around the country in the next couple of months. Plenty more to do here in Thredbo, including, let's do it right now with Samantha Chiari, who can show you plenty more things to do around this wonderful part of the world. Make sure you come here, not just this winter, but every single winter. And maybe when the snow melts, make sure you're back in summer too.
Famous for its snowy sports and alpine adventures, it's easy to see why Thredbo is one of the country's most loved ski resorts. But if skiing, snowboarding or sledding isn't really your thing, the picturesque village of Thredbo has a range of experiences and events on offer.
Living in the Snowy Mountains, it's a really fabulous place for all the family. The Snowy Mountains is growing considerably. Jindabyne is becoming such a huge centre of activity. A lot of families are moving there, so the schools are growing. Our kids catch the bus down to Jindabyne every day to go to school. We often take them for a mountain bike ride at the end of the day when they get off the bus up here. We have the leisure centre, the 50-metre indoor pool, water slide and gym. So yeah, we're never short of things to do.
Director of Brand and Marketing Caroline Brower has been living in Thredbo for the past 5 years.
We are actually really impressed with the offerings in summer as well. So you can do hiking, bushwalking, plenty to keep our young family really happy. We have lots of events during summer as well. I think it's really evolving as a year-round destination now.
Like most people who live on the mountain, Caroline can't see herself leaving.
I could see ourselves living here for a long, long time. I mean, with everything that there is to do year-round, I just don't see a reason to leave. We love it. We love the mountains. We love the village. We love the community. It's just such a great place.
The village is open all year round with over 20 restaurants and bars. We have all sorts of shops, from retail to mountain galleries. There really is something for everyone. And as the sun sets on the Snowies, après-ski lights up the town. The resort offers a range of cosy bars, late and lively night spots, music venues and dining options ranging from a la carte to cafes. The resort is also renowned for attracting some of the country's biggest music artists as well as international acts. When the snow starts to melt and the sun is shining, one of the main summer attractions is the mountain bike park. There's over 50 kilometres of riding to enjoy, from downhill to flow to all mountain. There's lots to love.
We've got the bobsled, which is pretty cool down the village here. You can go hiking to Cozzy, the leisure centre as well with a pool and water slide and everything like that. We've got a 9-hole golf course too. So there's definitely, you can make the most of a week down here in summer.
Tim believes the mountain biking is becoming a key attraction of the summer.
Hiking, it's a big growing thing in the Snowy Mountains, not only in the Thredbo Mountain Bike Park, but also down in Jindabyne and the whole Snowy Mountains as a whole. And then also hiking, fly fishing. Down in Jindabyne we've got the lake, so some water sports, wakeboarding. There's so much to offer. It's not just a ski location and snowboard location. Definitely the mountain biking and the fly fishing and the lake in Jindabyne and the hiking to Kosciuszko. There's so much to offer, and I couldn't think of a better place to grow up.
If you're after leisure or luxury, powder or parties, Thredbo is a must-see part of Australia. And the best bit, it's open 365 days of the year.
Seriously, if you've never been here, you've got to come. If you've already been here 10, 20 years ago, you've got to come back, right? Now, don't say that because they're, lining my pockets or anything. I'm saying it because I really want you to be able to experience this. Remember, the point of our town is to celebrate locations around the country and to remind you that your tourist dollar matters. And as great as it would be to get pissed and wear a singlet in Bali, spend your money in Australia. While I don't think it's an official marketing term, you can still get pissed here, It's okay. I don't think it's an official term, but make the most of an Australian holiday, OK? Do it here or do it anywhere around the country. Just make sure you spend your dollar here. And also, an interesting thing to note too is Ewan, who I was talking to a bit earlier in the day, is one of the many great managers who work their backsides off here. And the chairlifts that you would see, of course, during snow season, well, of course, they keep running throughout the entire year because they put a little rack on the back and you can put your bike there. So that might be an idea to see me fall over in a completely different circumstance in about 6 months' time. I'm sure the injuries will be far more fun to watch everyone there than me just sort of slowly twisting an ankle. Let's get some blood. We'll do that perhaps in a few months' time. Let's have a chat about what it's like to do business here and with its Chamber of Commerce. Can you welcome Ian Foster, ladies and gentlemen? Now, Ian runs some of the apartments that are uphill. You were just mentioning to me that very system about the rack on the back of the ski lifts where people can put their bikes, which activates this place as a 12-month-a-year location, designed here, made here. Australian ingenuity that came up with it. You didn't flog an idea from somewhere else.
Oh, not even Australian. The boys in the village designed it. They came up with it.
It's not even Australian, it's Thredbo, Ian.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. That's cool. Now, how long have you been here? How many winters?
29.
29, baby.
Heading up for 30 next year, so yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What first brought you here?
Oh,
what's her name?
The Schnapps, actually. It was the Schnapps.
Wild Brumby, they're good.
Yeah,
people.
That's right. They're great people.
Yeah.
No, it's the skiing. Obviously, I came here as a ski bum back in the mid-'80s and, you know, love the skiing, love the mountains and ended up loving this village.
So help me out, just as somebody who only started their ski bum career today, how long before it won't hurt?
Well...
And I'm talking about everything from the hips down. Is it always meant to hurt like this?
Yeah, no, sort of maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to go there, actually.
Yeah, you're not 120 kilos, that's why.
Yeah.
Let's talk about business in this region and how it's changed over those almost 30 years here. What's unique about trying to do business here and how you transition? What makes it different than, say, running a business in Canberra up the road?
Yeah, well, it's, you know, obviously it's very seasonal here. We have the snow, and the snow's always been the thing here, really, since the village started in '58, you know. It's all been about the snow. They've always tried to build that summer season and the summer product. And when I first started working here in our business in the village, which was in 1990, we've got a car park undercover up there. My wife and I used to rollerblade around that car park most of the summer because there was nobody there, you know. But that's different now. We can never rollerblade around the car park. You know, we've got to go somewhere else to do that. There's people here almost all year round and, you know, it's a fantastic place. I think Australians are catching on to a mountain holiday in the summer. It's a big thing. It's always been a big thing in Europe and, you know, North America. Down here, you know, obviously the beach has always had a bit of a hold for people, but they're starting to see the different side of the mountains. It's such a cool place in summer.
What's that thing? I love that when you go and see a movie at event cinemas, and they've obviously got involvement here, they would sell that message about that summer holiday. It would always be quite an enticing thing to first to educate people, but then also to get excited about. Also about this area too. What's it like as a community when, let's be honest, when it's got problems? How does it solve those problems? Is there a certain amount of ingenuity, sort of stubbornness, creativity? How does this place overcome a business problem?
Oh, I think, you know, together, we always work together. We're a pretty close-knit community, I think. And I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that half of the people in this village, if not more, maybe 80% of the people in this village are all ex-ski bums. They all have a very similar mindset, a very similar outlook on life. And it's quite easy to get together and work together and come up with solutions. And, you know, I think you've only got to look at the crew running the mountain now. We've got a lot of young guys coming up, young girls coming up, and they're exactly the same as I was, you know, 30 years ago. A lot of enthusiasm, love the mountains, love what's going on here and want to share it with all of their friends. So it's easy, really.
So what's the pitch to those that are watching us right now about... you know, come to the whole region, but certainly, obviously, Thredbo, God love it. But why should they think about that mountain holiday in summer or winter sometime sooner rather than later?
Oh, they should come to the mountains just because it's, you know, it's what we all really yearn for. It's that serious contact with nature and you know, the outdoors, the real world, you know. It's not digitised, it's not any of that stuff. It's just real. You come here and you're going to get speed, you're going to get adrenaline, you're going to get fresh air, you're going to get the chill on your skin and you're going to get a buzz. You'll come away with a buzz.
Dare I say, if you want to feel alive, you come to places like this.
That's exactly right.
That's it, yeah. If you want to fake it, you look like that. You want to have a real life, look up. It's everywhere around
here. It's here, yeah.
Thank you so much, Matt. Lovely to talk to you. All the best.
Thanks,
best
Paul.
to everything. Thank you, Ian Foster. We talk a lot about business in this region. We'll do more of that in a second, as well as I want to show you a phenomenal thing that happens here every single night. Is for the slopes to be returned to their picturesque best. Well, there's an entire army of people while everyone else sleeps here who are doing their work, and I spent some time with them last night. And if, like me, you like really big things that go vroom vroom, you really want to watch our next bit. More in a second here as we're live from Thredbo on Sky News and on Australia Channel around the world. More in a sec from this beautiful location.
Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence. Need advice? We're here to help.
Welcome back to Thredbo. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, jump on the Facebook page, particularly if you'd like to see the video of me trying to learn to ski. It is simply just go searching for Paul Murray Live. In a second, we'll show you about that snow grooming stuff, which is a lot of fun. We'll also talk to plenty more local businesses here, including some farmers, banking, and so much more that happens here. But I want to tell you even more about the region, and Samantha Chiari has well and truly delivered and over-delivered lots and lots of little information about this place that makes it very special, including the school that only goes to school for 4 days a week. Their school sport or lifestyle is they have an entire day for skiing. Have a look at this.
The future is looking bright for the Snowy Mountains. Thousands of people live, work and go to school here, and many wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
I think this town is very inclusive. We have a very good sense of community, and definitely everyone knows everyone, and it's just a safe place. I've enjoyed growing up here, so I would hope that my children too in the future would enjoy growing up here also.
For more than 20 years, Snowy Mountains Grammar School has been teaching kids all the usual subjects. But it's the Snow Sports Academy here which is the main draw. And it's successful, with many former students going on to become professional sportsmen and women. Principal Dr. Andrew Bell says whilst most students eventually want to try life in the big cities, it's common to see them return home.
Immediately, probably about 85% of our students on average leave here to go to university, mostly Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne. But then what we're seeing is people come back and live in the area. So we've got alumni who work on staff, we've got some students here as well who are children of alumni. So we're seeing parents go away, have their families and then come back as professionals a little bit later, but immediately, yes, they generally go off for other careers. I think they come back because they have a connection to the area. I think people have a sense of pride in the area and really like it and miss it. I think they enjoy getting away and growing as people, but then when they become parents, I think they like to come back and raise their children as they were a little bit.
And it's not just the young people leading the way. The state government is investing over $2 million in the Go Jindabyne Master Plan. It's set to help grow Jindabyne into Australia's premier alpine destination.
So I think it's an exciting time for Jindabyne that the state government's investing $2.4 million in a master plan and really looking carefully at what this area offers, the community, the local and wider community. So I think as a school and the local residents are really keen and very invested in what that might look like into the future. So I think this is an area of tremendous growth possibility for our community, not just in snow sports, but in other areas. And the lake's very untapped in terms of water sports and as a community hub. So very exciting times, really.
The Snowy River rises on the slopes of Mount Kosciuszko, 7,000 feet above sea level. Guthaga Dam site, alongside the Snowy, where real progress on the hydroelectric scheme has been made.
Back in the 1950s, the Snowy Mountains scheme put this area on the map. It was the largest engineering project ever undertaken in the country, regenerating the local economy and reshaping the landscape. Lake Jindabyne was created over half a century ago as part of the Snowy Mountains scheme. Looking to the future, Snowy 2.0 is a massive expansion to the already existing scheme and expected to generate over 5,000 jobs to the Snowy Mountains region.
Snowy 2.0 is a massive expansion of the existing Snowy scheme. So what we're doing is we're building a new power station, a kilometre underneath the ground, and using 27 kilometres of tunnels and waterways to connect two existing dams, Tamtangra and Talbingo. So the beauty of Snowy 2 is that it combines on-demand generation, so we can generate any time by just flicking a switch, with large-scale storage.
Stephanie McHugh from Snowy Hydro says the benefits of the project will be felt by many businesses for many years to come.
We're bringing in a workforce, a construction workforce of about 2,000 people, and there'll be another couple of thousand jobs indirect. So we're talking about a project here of global scale happening right here in the Snowy Mountains. Snowy Hydro's home up here in the Snowy Mountains, and we cannot wait to progress the project further.
More of the can-do spirit, more of the getting on with the job that's happening in this particular region. 3 examples of it right now, and thank you to Samantha Chiari for putting all these reports together. I really do appreciate it, her along with Charlotte Mortlock. Let's have a chat to 3 people who very much matter to this community. Have a look at them. Alan Weston, who's a farmer in Jindabyne. Paul Barnes is the NAB's managing partner of Monaro in the South Coast, and John Rooney is from the Snowy Monaro Regional Council. Hello, one and all. How are we?
Well, great, thank you.
Official title's gone. Let's just have a yak, all right? This is the way to be. John, I loved that when they were talking about the school kids, the amount of school kids that don't just go to Canberra for university, but the number that turn around and come back. Because let's be honest, when we do this show, and we've done it, all over the country, from Tassie, Queensland, you name it, Whyalla, one of the issues that a lot of these places have is that the kids don't come back. How important is it that they feel that there's more than a future but a life here after they leave school?
It's extremely important, Paul. Now, they know there's a life here. They love the lifestyle here, but what they need to know is there's a career for them here in Snowy Monaro as well. And they don't even need to go to Canberra to study any longer. We have the Country University Centre in Cooma, which offers a full range of university degree courses that they can attend in Cooma remotely using the wonders of the internet, with all sorts of support from tutors actually in the town. So no need to go to Canberra, people, even to study.
Very good.
And when you want a job, please remember Snowy Monaro. This economy is booming. We have a tidal wave of investment coming into this region over the next 5 years. We have 3.3% unemployment. That means it's over full employment. There are more jobs than there are workers able to take them.
Good message.
So
it's a very good message, because this is the thing where we often hear this about things where we certainly know in the major capitals there can obviously be some concerns or people sort of whinge about the fact there aren't jobs. The whole point is that at some point in your life, if you're not lucky enough to be born here, get off your backside and move to a place like this. It seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do.
It's a wonderful place to live. Not just here in Thredbo, but everywhere in the Monaro. You've got magnificent scenery, you have an idyllic rural lifestyle, you have employment, and you are never more than 2 hours from the snow, wherever you are.
Good stuff. Alan, what are you a farmer in? What are you doing? What's your focus?
Beef cattle and fat lambs.
Wow, how long have you been doing it?
Well, the family's been here 5 generations. My income has been mixed. Living here, I've worked in the ski industry for about 30 years, managing ski rentals and running the farm as well. So very lucky, unlike other areas where they're suffering with the drought and they've got nowhere else to get alternate work. In this area, we can always pick up a little bit within the ski industry, and it really helps out a lot of the rural people closer to the snow.
I love your commitment to the ski industry, because you've kept the moustache from when you did work in it. That's what I love. That is a very beautiful tash. That is a beautiful tash.
Well, what can I say? When I go skiing, everyone comments on it since it's back in fashion.
Man, bring it back, baby. Bring it back, baby. I love it. Yeah. What have conditions been like? Have you been as affected by drought as other things? What's happening around Jindabyne?
Around Jindabyne, we've had 2 really dry winters and not much of a spring. We've had a bit of rain, here and there, but extremely dry. So although a lot of the Monaro has suffered over a lot of droughts, effectively, if there's a drought everywhere, it doesn't matter, even if you've got a lot of green grass, you still suffer the price decrease. And, the average farmer selling cattle is probably down 30% on their income of a couple of years ago. So it's just whether you got feed or not, they've got nowhere to go is the thing.
So Paul, with the NAB, how do you help farmers and other businesses that have to ride the cycle of life?
Oh, look, it's an interesting challenge, and that is that I suppose the first thing is we're open for business. We want to lend money to people, to customers, to agribusiness customers. We do offer, and we have come up with solutions for customers that are struggling. So in July last year, 2018, we offered customers that are in drought-declared government districts discounts on their default interest rates, so they're not suffering any more than anybody else would be, you know, as they would be in a normal season.
That's great. I mean, also in terms of you know, business and how things like banks and local councils help, have you seen them change over the time you've been here?
Oh, look, everything's changing. Like, the area is just booming. It really is. And it's probably, in some respects, it's actually struggling to keep up. You know, in planning and everything else going on, to think far enough ahead to plan the area, it's probably where it's struggling the most, and that's why they've got this new plan at the moment they're looking into and investing in, because we just need that.
I think that's a hint that he wants you to talk about it, John. No, I'm interested. Tell me about how do you manage this? Because as a population centre, we were talking about this before, is that part of the joy is that it's not densely populated, but there's the area you have to manage is massive. Clearly, you can't whack huge rates on a small population.
Only 15,000 square kilometres, Paul, so...
only.
We're only the 43rd largest country of the United Nations if we're an independent nation.
You said it's 3 times bigger than Wales, all the rest of it?
No, about 2/3 the size of Wales.
How do you manage that growth? As a council, how do you plan for the future with, frankly, the limited money that's there today?
Look, Council's taking a very systematic approach to planning the future of Snowy Monero. Perhaps you've both seen the strategic land use plan that was released recently. We've done strategic economic development plans. We are working with the state government in town planning of Jindabyne, a massive undertaking in its own right. And we have ambitions to roll out similar exercises in other areas of Snowy Monero over time as money permits. It's a gigantic challenge. And if anybody is interested in getting on board and helping us with it, we have 60 vacancies in our council.
Look at this! Go online and see what happens. All right, Paul, last word here. Of all of the places that you could work with the NAB, why here, and what's the exciting challenge for your brain and the organisation?
Oh, look, you know, driving here today, when you're just driving up through the mountains, and, you know, I'll follow on from a couple of comments there before, you're driving into pristine areas. It's just absolutely magnificent to drive up here. And then you get to, you know, spend some time out in farms with, you know, some absolutely fantastic people. You sit down, you work with them, you have a coffee, you have lunch, you solve the problems of the world. You know, what more could you ask for?
Sounds like a wonderful life for all three of you. Well done. Thank you very much for the chat. I do appreciate it. Good luck with the council, the bank and on the farm. Thank you very much, lads. The NAB well and truly committed to regional Australia and very much to us as well. Thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate it. All right, plenty more things to talk about here, including our mates at Australia Post and an example of how they're helping business in this wonderful and booming region.
In the heart of Thredbo, retail business is booming, especially for family-run business Snow Sport. Store worker William Tresita says he's living the dream in Thredbo.
They always say that you do what you love, and you know, that's something that's been amazing.
A true grassroots business, Snow Sport was born in 1987 and has evolved into a retailer of high-performance ski, sports, fashion and activewear. William's parents own it and he will soon be taking over.
My mum is Swedish. She came over as a ski instructor back in the late 70s. Was doing that and then realised that all the ski gear that we're using in Australia was garbage and everyone was wet, cold and miserable. So I decided to import some good Swedish equipment. My dad was starting the food huts up in Perisher and doing that, and they met each other, and then Dad sold out and they started Snow Sport. Yeah.
The store sells apparel all over Australia and internationally, with Australia Post as their delivery partner. It means the small town of Thredbo is connected globally.
We need to be able to expand quickly and keep up with, you know, retail in the big cities. So we need to be, you know, delivering, you know, services and what we can, you know, next day or within a week. Thanks very much.
Australia Post contractor Jerry Turbot picks up Snow Sport parcels from Thredbo.
This allowed them to actually access the greater world, so they wouldn't be able to do that without us being able to actually get the product out there for them.
He says online shopping has evolved in the town.
It's really increased the volumes for us, as much as incoming parcels as it is outgoing now. It's kept us very busy.
This partnership between Australia Post and Snowsport has helped continually grow both businesses.
What used to be a few parcels has now grown into the thousands, and it's just that quick service and ease to work with and get things out that's really helped us.
For a place like Thredbo, a rural area like this, they don't have any other options, and it's really given them an opportunity to expand right around the world.
This program brought to you by NAB, Australia's biggest business bank.
NAB, more than money.
Welcome back to Thredbo. Thank you very much for being a very, very decent and fun audience all the way through. I want to give you the opportunity to fire up about this region in a second. Now, let us have a little mini town hall. Let's have a conversation, as the lefties would say. But I want to give away this lovely hamper, full of local produce and all the rest of it here. I will, of course, do so by we don't have the meat tray. Instead, we're doing the tickets out of a helmet, as sweated in by me. So just hold on to your tickets. It's going to be something special if they ever come up with the ability to clone an idiot. So do we have our tickets? Let's all whack them up in the air, ready to rock? This man's all ready to go. Come on, put your hands up with your tickets. Let's go. Let's see. They've got all our tickets. Oh, you don't have tickets? Oh, bloody hell. This reminds me of, this is the second time in a row. You think, we bring all of this technology, we do all these shows, and it was like the time when we brought two books of raffle tickets that were exactly the same colour. Our team does an amazing job. They really do. I think we all agree that the technical side of what we do behind the scenes, and if you ever get the chance to join us at an Our Town, you'll be able to see how we make telly and the passionate team at Sky News who make it. But the one thing we've got to nail is the raffle tickets, and we'll do that into the future. All right, so let's get into here. You can draw the raffle, though, Dale. Come on, up you get.
Dale?
Yeah, why not? Come on. Hey, it's 2019. You can call blokes, Dale.
Yeah. No, I'm fine with whatever gender you want. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay.
Okay. All right. Hang on. Here we go. All right. So we have a. Thank you very much. Thank you, darling. It is. Just if his parents are watching, there's a few things he has to tell you. Including that he's on TV right now with us. All right. So a green ticket. Does anyone have a green ticket? Does anyone have a ticket that starts with the letter D? Does anyone have the ticket 4? D4? She wins, thank goodness. I love the raffle bit. All right. Congratulations. Did you get 04? You did. All right, good. Excellent. Whew. Congratulations. All right. Stand up. What's your name, beautiful?
Susan.
Hello, Susan. Now, Susan, how long have you been in the region?
Well, we're actually just down here for the week, but we've been coming for many years at the winter time to ski. So,
all right. Why are they heckling?
Yeah.
Have we accidentally rigged this for you?
No.
Front row wins it, I know. It's so rigged. All right, now, what can be improved about this part of Australia? I know you're going to say it's perfect, but nothing ever is. What else can we do to build on it, to get it fired up, to get it moving?
Look, it really is a beautiful part of the world, and we love coming here, and I can't think of anything to change it. So
very cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Give it up. Congratulations. Now, this is the fun bit. You've got to follow me, Simo, because we're going to walk around here, step up, and we're going to have a little chat to the bloke before who was enjoying the schnapps, etc., etc. And he's on the red wine, so he's ready to fire up. Hello, mate. How are you?
I am. Good, Paul.
Good. Lovely to see you. All right, now, you're passionate about this region. Give me an idea about something that people watching at home need to learn or need to understand that is going to free up investment, council business, all the rest, talking about how good things are. Is there anything that's a slight handbrake that we need to let off?
The coast of Australia is the coast of Australia, obviously, right? There's thousands of beaches and they're lovely. We all love, all of these guys here love going to the beach. But there's very few spots in the world, in Australia, that are alpine. And that's what we've got. And yes, to be fair, Victoria's got the same. But you look at a map in Australia and you Google it up and you've got the snow-covered peaks. They're, that big to the rest of the world, rest of our country. What I'd really like to see is councils, the Mayor was on early tonight, it was more to state government as well, relax the insurance issues so that people can develop tourism activities that they don't get hammered when someone breaks their big toe or injures their thumb. I believe New Zealand, and I'm not too sure, but New Zealand has a policy where you break a leg, it's 50 grand. It's a
cap.
It's a cap, thank you. So
it'd help.
As Australia, you think you're small and you're fat, but you're good.
That'll make the promo.
So we need to relax the PC brigade, right? We've got a beautiful environment here. I was up skiing today and I saw you ski. Sorry, what were you doing today?
I was existing.
Yeah, thank you. And you've got potential, I've got to say that, really have. But we need to have some relaxation on regulation so that people can invest with confidence and develop things that people can enjoy. And mate, we've got a population of 27 million people, right? We don't have a lot of draw card for the big mass marketplace. So you've got to make it easy for people to come here. And at the moment, not just at the moment, but generally speaking, Australia is very much hamstrung by governmental, bureaucratic...
Red tape, green tape, all
that sort of shit, right? Yeah. So if we can change that, and you're a man that's in a position that could help that sort of process a little bit, we'd be sensational. You know, here, Victoria, the mountains, even up in Queensland, right? The bureaucratic red tape is just bullshit. Yeah. It is. And we've got to change that somehow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fill-in host of Paul Murray Live. Welcome, welcome. Well done, well done. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Good on you. I like a fire up. All right, now we're going to go back round to the front here because I want to introduce you to a bloke who has lived in this region for not 20, not 30, not 40, but more than 50 years. Get ready to stand up again, sir, because this is perhaps the best coat I've seen in all of my time that we are here. Look at this. Hello again. Hello. Let's make it nice and formal on TV. What's your name?
Mike.
Hello, mate.
Mike Warzak.
I love this. Look at this. I love that you killed it yourself. That's my favourite bit.
It's a matter of survival, isn't it?
What's kept you here? And well, apart from your lovely partner, your lovely wife, your lovely family, but what's kept you here for so long?
You left out the grandkids.
Oh, the grandkids too.
Yeah, correct. Look, it's a family holiday. It's local. And this is the best village in Australia. It's a village. We have a valley, just like in Austria and Switzerland, whatever, and we don't have many of them in Australia. But, you know, I think and I believe that we've got more snow than Switzerland.
I didn't know that. I thought you were... He's not making it up.
I'm not making it up. So there you go. But look, it's a family holiday. It's a great place. It's the atmosphere, the snow, the exercise, and Allen Ridge is good too.
We've also got an army that doesn't sit on its arse like Switzerland either.
Yeah, correct, correct. Now look, it's just the exercise of the sport and meeting guys like you, and it's good to have mate. It's good to have you guys there, and I watch your show regularly.
Thank you.
It really is good to see the right side of the fake news.
Ah, God love you. You've got all the terms, the deep state, everything. Thank you, mate. Paid up. You're a quiet Australian and we appreciate it. Good man. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, now I want to show everyone something that happened here last night, which was the opportunity to be able to go up and hang out with the snow groomers. Now, the equipment is worth $500,000 and it is one of a whole collection of them that make sure that they turn the mountain from, well, the way that it ends each and every day to that picturesque thing that people wake up to each and every morning. Have a look at my time with the snow groomers here in Thredbo. Well, after a long day of fun here at Thredbo, the snow doesn't quite look the same as how it may start the next day. Unsurprisingly, this doesn't happen magically. There is no snow fairy that turns around and just with their little fairy fingers make sure that there's grooves in the beautiful white powder. No, there is a team of people who are called snow groomers. These people work all through the night, multiple places all over this particular resort, and they turn it into an absolute picturesque place every single morning. Let's meet these blokes and have a look at their pretty impressive toys. And the man who is in charge of this ridiculously awesome machine is Shane. Hello, mate.
Hi, how are you, Paul?
Good. This is one hell of a toy, and you've been here for a while, though, so what's this beast like?
This is state-of-the-art 600, made in Germany, over $500,000, 13-tonne snow groomer,
so,
Casborer.
Let's talk about all of this, OK? So, obviously, at the end of the day, it'll look like this after everyone's been banging around on it. This is what it looks like at the end. This is your corduroy effect,
Classic corduroy finish.
Right. So how long does it take to turn the end of the day into the start of the day?
16 hours, 9 snowcats, 18 operators, all night. And I don't even let them have a break.
Is there a radio in there? That's a lot of time to be sitting in there going up and down in the giant sort of ride-on lawnmower.
Just sit back, enjoy the view. It's a great view at the top of the mountain, as you'll see later.
Well, enough talking. Let's get inside the beach.
You driving?
Yes, absolutely. All right, this is going to be elegant, isn't it? All right, how does a fat man get inside this thing? Let's find out.
Oh, do you know how to start it?
Yes, absolutely I do. That button that says start.
Push it.
Yes! You can really feel what you're digging up, can't you?
Yeah, I think like down here it's kind of the beginner's area, so it's quite flat anyhow. But when you move up into the, there's some quite big bumps, and there's a little bit of work involved to get it nice and flat. We run to a deadline, so by 8:30 in the morning we have to be ready to go. So kind of can be a bit stressful when we've had a big night of snowstorms or whether it's snow making. So yeah, it's kind of high pressure for some of the guys and gals that do it.
Thank you very much.
No worries, Paul.
All right, so I have driven a Tirana in Tasmania. I've gone on a hot lap with Craig Lowndes. But this might be the coolest thing I've ever done. On wheels? They're massive machines. Well done to the team. I giggle at myself looking at how happy I was. I tell you what, this is the incredible privilege of this job, being able to visit all of the places that we have, but also to have these experiences. And hopefully you enjoy the ride along with us. I do kind of look like the overgrown kid, don't I? Getting very excited by those things, and we very much do enjoy being here. Now, just a few thank yous that I wanted to say about what we've been able to do here, and not just with our town here in Thredbo, but also the project that has been existing now for all year. We're half a dozen down, and we've got a few to go. I'll tell you in a second where our next location is going to be. It is well and truly the extreme opposite of where we are right now. I want to thank all of our corporate supporters, all of those sponsors who've got a million other causes to back in, but they back this one in because it is about truly trying to provide that link between people watching us right now who are in the city and the people who are outside of it. It's also about trying to come and just have a good old-fashioned time, a free night out for people, and to be able to have fun with people like Guy Sebastian. So thank you so much to Sony Music, to Harvey Norman, to the NAB. Also thanks to Australia Post and all of those that have made this take place. But I've got to say, the one little gift that we're going to be keeping around here for everyone is I'd like you all to look into your bags, if you will, here in the studio audience, and I want you to go and find something foam and hold it up, because you are now the good people of Thredbo, the good burgers of the Snowy Mountains. I'd like you to hold up your Paul Murray Live stubby holder, because it is now official. You are now part of the family everywhere you go. Now, there's only one rule of the stubby holder, OK? You have to make sure that when the lefties come over for Christmas, they have to drink out of this, OK? You got a deal? You give it to the wankers from universities. All the rest of it, you can shove that in for the next little while. Thank you very much to all of you guys that have been here tonight. You've been incredibly cool to hang out with. Thank you so much to Susie Diver and the whole team that have been here at Thredbo. She is amazing. She made us feel like we were the biggest show in town. Thank you to everyone who is here. Yeah, get on your serves. We love you, darling. Our next location is going to be in Broome in Western Australia. We have been from the snow to the beaches. So, as for one last time from the very good people of Thredbo and Paul Murray Live, we say good night and make sure that you make this town the next place that you go on holiday. We'll see you in Broome and back to normal tomorrow night on Paul Murray Live. Thank you, everyone. Ta-da! We'll see you soon.
Australia Post, helping local communities every day.